Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning, episode 302, I believe. Back on the topic of baseball, everything seemed to be going well for the New York Mets. Signing new guys, acquiring good players, possibly going to sign George Springer, all of that. But now they have fired their general manager, Jared Porter, and I'm about to get into that. But first, question of the day. The Mets have appeared in 5 World Series, the most of any expansion team in MLB history. How many of those have they won? So again, question of the day, how many franchise World Series wins do the New York Mets have? Answer revealed at the end of the video, but let's get right to it. So the Mets have fired their general manager, Jared Porter, for, quote-unquote, sending explicit messages to a reporter in 2016 while he was with the Cubs. I don't want to go into many more details other than explicit text messages to a female reporter. Yes, that's an issue. He was working in 2016, the Cubs World Series year, as their scouting director, professional scouting players director. So as a Cubs staff member, he did this, sent explicit messages to a female reporter. Now he's acknowledged they're true, and he's being accused of that, whatever. He has already been fired, let go by the Mets within 24 hours of the realization. So what does this mean for the Mets franchise? Well, absolutely nothing good is the answer for that. Just looking at the Mets' current offseason moves right now, they've just recently picked up Joey Lucchesi, left-handed pitcher. They are working on signing Trevor Bauer, one of the more likely landing spots for him. Same thing with George Springer, likely landing spot for Springer, likely landing spot for reliever Brad Hand, and of course they already signed Lindor and James McCann earlier in the offseason. So my point being, this New York Mets team making the acquisitions that they need to become relevant next season. I mean, looking at their division, I mean, it's really them and the Braves in the National League East that I expect to be in contention for winning that. Maybe Bryce Harper has a good year with the Phillies. They might contest that. But again, the Mets have a chance to win the NL East, win their division this year, I think. They haven't won their division since 2015, their last World Series appearance. Really, since then, they've been irrelevant. But they have a pitching staff with Stroman, Syndergaard, Cy Young, just won Cy Young, and Jacob deGrom. This Mets team is looking great, and now they have to worry about signing a new GM, finding a new GM, an interim GM, a new one to employ, whatever. That's just not good. You take the focus away from the game of baseball, and you have to do now figure out who's going to run your team. It's just not good. It's going to be a major setback for this Mets team. And like I said, with their roster now, with the possible addition of Brad Hand, Trevor Bauer, and George Springer, this team is NLDS bound, I think, at least. And then, of course, it could be better than Atlanta. We could see them win the NL possibly if all goes right. But I think that kind of goes out the window now with this drama with their GM. Of course, like I said, Jared Porter, GM of the Mets, just fired. I just don't see anything good coming out of this. It's really unfortunate that this type of thing even happened and that it's resurfacing 4 or 5 years later. But it's just unacceptable in a professional. I mean, it's his job. It's his job to manage a team, do whatever, and he's doing this type of thing. Like I said, don't want to go into too many details, but sending inappropriate text messages. So what's in store for the Mets in 2021? I still think they're going to be a solid team. I don't think this automatically means that they're going to be totally doomed for the next season, but I just don't see the Mets season going as it was headed for. The track it was headed for was, like I said, NLDS bound at least. But now I think that that could totally change. Now, could they get an interim guy to fill in or hire somebody else that's even better? Absolutely. I mean, Jared Porter clearly as GM hasn't been fantastic. So not going to guarantee this doesn't work out well for the Mets, but I just don't see them going into 2021 with a spotty GM, interim GM, whatever, and it going well. This is obviously still time with all these people on the table between Hand and Springer and Bauer that need to be signed. The Mets could acquire. They need someone that's skilled at the GM position to do what it takes to acquire them. And I think with this event, it just doesn't help them out, to be honest with you. But again, I'm rooting for the Mets 2021. I hope they figure it out. I think they made the right decision, of course, by firing him. Like I said, it's a professional place. It is a business. All in all, baseball is a business, and you can't tolerate inappropriate stuff like that. So firing Jared Porter, while it was tough, I'm sure definitely the right decision. Got to move on with someone that's more focused on the job. And I think that while it might be a setback, the Mets made the right decision in firing Jared Porter. So that's it for that topic. But for the question of the day, it is 2 World Series the Mets have. I believe it was 1969 and 1986 were the 2 rings, and of course their most recent trip was 2015. They also went in 2000, of course 86 when they won it. They went in 73 and they went in 69, and of course they won in, like I said, 69 and 1986. Thank you for watching, guys. 2-minute warning.